welcome to podcast 7. I am exceptionally excited for today's topic. I think in this age where we are all about going as fast as we can, being as efficient as we can, right? I want to kind of kick off this podcast with our first question. And, I think one thing that is going to be interesting for our viewers is not only as a person for our corporate jobs, but how we're behaving as an agent. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to make yourself more efficient at this job, right? Obviously having 2 jobs, it's very time consuming, it's very demanding, right? And I feel like being as efficient as possible really helps us, manage our time really well. And so really interested to hear about some of the tactics that you guys are implementing on the daily, where you guys are making yourselves more efficient as an agent. So doesn't matter who wants to kick us off, but
I'd like to preface with we began today's episode with looking at shark videos and how to approach an attack if it's coming right at us. And so it's kind of like the same way that I look at, okay, how do we manage this and be most efficient as possible? And I think it's important to take what you learn in different areas and apply them where you're going, similar to the shark video. Like if you're under a dangerous situation, what can you take from this Discovery Channel video and apply to something like real estate? Because there's going to be some high stress situations. Maybe something happens during a showing, like a window breaks or you have intrusion. Like we are trained for those sort of circumstances where, okay, don't panic, take care of yourself, safety's first, client also, make sure that nobody's harmed, and then, respond accordingly. I think when it comes to thinking and projecting certain skills from one area to another, that's where it can show, whether it's communication, presentation, delivering all types of news, whether it's news that your client expects to be good, and then the same news if they expect to have bad news, like our offer was not well received, but we received a counter, and what can we do next steps to make that happen? I think keeping an open mind is something else, because I like to approach things as a learner. I don't like to feel like I'm the smartest person in the room. I do feel if that is ever the case, then I don't know, life would be boring at that point. And at the same time, there's so much in the world, and it's the you don't know what you don't know type of problem statement. So open mind, taking shark videos and making sure that whatever the stressful situation might be, just stay calm.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I agree with you, Bartholomew. I feel like as part of being efficient, it's really I feel like it's a mindset, right? And how you want to think and approach problems. I would also say too, another thing that I like to do, to kind of think about how I go kind of make myself more efficient too, is I like to also have kind of a plan. I don't know. I feel like having things, knowing things that are also coming up, kind of on the flip side of what you're saying, I feel like that's also really helpful as well, right? I feel like being an agent, I feel there are lots of questions that, especially for new home buyers, that are always going to come up, right? And so being prepared to kind of go and address those questions based on prior experience, I feel like having that in your back pocket helps you make yourself more efficient, because you can kind of go and anticipate some of the things they're gonna ask, or some of the things that they're gonna need help with, right? Or even for anything regarding putting an offer in, having your forms and your checklist in the back of your mind ready to go, right? I feel also helps myself, makes this whole process a little bit more efficient, right? And so I don't know, how about you, Juan?
So when it comes down to efficiency, it's something that I really love. And I mean, there's not many people, or I would say, and you guys could obviously, what's the word? Not to attack generations, but I have a coworker who's a millennial, and he gets all pissed off at me, not in a bad way, but more so when I show him a better way of doing things, whether it's, you utilizing Excel or just utilizing your phone. He's like, God damn it, you Zillennials, because I'm part of Gen Z or whatever. I'm like, I'm right in the middle. I'm like that middle child between millennials and Gen Zers. So essentially, I'm just the phone, spreadsheets. That's something that has made me a lot more efficient just in my everyday life, whether it's being a real estate agent or my personal job or my personal life. Relating it just to real estate, though, a phone comes in handy in so many ways because I mean, to kind of like go off what you both of you guys had just said, it is about mentality. You need to be, you gotta want to be efficient because that's gonna put you in the right headspace, and you have to plan ahead because you don't want anything going wrong, or worse, like you don't want something coming up after the fact that you've just, you got into escrow and then you didn't take care of something because you didn't have it written down prior to, things like that. But a little bit more so relating to technology, I guess, is if you're showing a home, if you're running late because we do have multiple jobs, we have other priorities, other things that we care for in life. It's more so of like a convenience to have a cell phone with you because if somebody asks you like, hey, what are the comps in the area? And you didn't have a chance to run the comps right before. Like I have this like little app on my phone called Home Pro, and even the MLS, you just go on there and you look in the area that you're at, pull up a few properties that match the criteria of the home you're looking for. While your client is viewing the property, you could literally just send them off like a snapshot of comparative market analysis, a CMA. But yeah, things like that help out a lot. Yeah, I'm just a solid advocate, I think, for the use of technology to being more efficient, moving forward.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a pretty great time in, I guess, technology, right? Where it's like not even my phone. Sometimes I travel with my laptop, right? It's just to like in case I want to make a quick stop to like a coffee shop, right? And like whether or not it's something to look up real quick, whether or not it's an email you want to send on your phone, right? I feel like we're in a really like fun time in technology where we can kind of go and leverage a lot of these different tools, right? And I think as well, like it's nice to have that convenience at any time, at any point, right? And we always are connected in some ways. And just having that ability is so game changing. So like 1,000% agree with you, Juan. Like I think like that has really helped a lot of us be more efficient, not just being an agent, but even like, even in our day jobs, right? And so
Yeah, exactly.